CompTIA A Core 2 Complete Training Course. Exam Objective 4.6 Explain the importance of prohibited content, activity, privacy, licensing, and policy concepts. Software licensing. Before we dive into the different types of software licenses, let's first understand what software licensing actually is. A software license is a legal agreement that defines how software can be used, installed, shared, or distributed. Think of it as the rulebook for using software. It outlines what users are allowed to do, what restrictions apply, and how the software creator protects their intellectual property. These licenses can cover everything from how many devices the software can be installed on, to whether it can be used in a business environment, modified, redistributed, or shared with others. Violating a software license agreement can lead to consequences ranging from disabled features and revoked access to financial penalties or legal action. In short, software licensing helps ensure software is used legally, securely, and according to the developer's intended terms. Let's begin with one of the most widely discussed licensing models, open-source software. With open-source software, the source code is publicly available, allowing users to view it, modify it, and often redistribute their changes. Think of it like a community recipe book where everyone can see the ingredients, improve the recipe, and share their own version with others. This collaborative approach encourages transparency, flexibility, and innovation. Linux distributions are one of the most well-known examples of open-source software in action. On the other side, we have proprietary software, sometimes called closed-source software. With proprietary software, the source code is hidden from the public, and users must purchase or obtain a license to use it legally. Imagine visiting a famous restaurant where the chef guards the recipe like a state secret. You can enjoy the finished product, but you do not get access to how it was made. Proprietary software often includes polished user experiences, centralized support, regular updates, and tighter control over how the software is distributed and used. Windows and Mac OS are both examples of proprietary operating systems. Whether software is open source or proprietary, organizations must ensure they are using valid licenses. A valid license means the software is properly activated, legitimately purchased or obtained, and being used according to the terms of the licensing agreement. Using pirated software, reusing expired licenses, or installing software on more systems than allowed, can violate licensing agreements and create both legal and security risks. Beyond the legal concerns, unlicensed or pirated software is also far more likely to contain malware, backdoors, or tampered code. Saving a few dollars is usually not worth accidentally installing ransomware as a bonus feature. One licensing model you may encounter is the perpetual license agreement. A perpetual license allows the customer to use the software indefinitely, after purchasing it one time. In other words, you buy it once and continue using that version for as long as you want. This type of licensing model commonly involves an upfront payment, and the software is often installed locally on a workstation or server rather than accessed through the cloud. However, while the software itself may never expire, ongoing support, maintenance, feature updates, or newer versions may still require additional maintenance agreements or upgrade purchases. This differs from subscription-based licensing models, which typically involve recurring monthly or yearly fees. Subscription software is often cloud-based, with maintenance and updates included as part of the subscription plan. The major difference is that if the subscription ends, access to the software usually ends as well. With a perpetual license, even if support expires, you generally retain access to the version you originally purchased. Another important licensing distinction involves personal use licenses versus corporate use licenses. A personal use license is designed for individual, non-commercial use. For example, someone may use software at home for personal projects, gaming, or learning new skills. However, using software licensed for personal use inside a business environment may violate the terms of the agreement. A corporate use license, on the other hand, is designed specifically for organizations and professional environments. These licenses often include features such as centralized management, enterprise support, multi-user access, or volume licensing options that allow installation across many systems within the company. Using the proper license type helps organizations remain compliant while ensuring employees have the tools they need to work effectively. Now let's talk about the EULA, or End User License Agreement. The EULA is a legally binding contract between the software creator or publisher and the end user of a software application. This agreement outlines the rules, restrictions, and permissions associated with the software. If you have ever installed software and clicked an I agree button without reading 20 pages of legal text, congratulations, you have accepted a EULA. These agreements often include restrictions on redistribution, copying, reverse engineering, commercial usage, or the number of permitted installations. For example, installing a consumer edition of software intended only for home use onto multiple corporate systems could violate the EULA. Even though most users scroll straight to the bottom faster than they scroll social media, the agreement is still legally enforceable. If the EULA establishes the rules, Digital Rights Management, or DRM, acts as the enforcer. DRM refers to a collection of copyright protection technologies designed to prevent unauthorized use or duplication of digital media. DRM is commonly used with software, movies, music, video games, and streaming services. One example of DRM is HDCP, which stands for High Bandwidth Digital Content Protection. HDCP helps prevent unauthorized copying of protected video and audio content as it travels across HDMI connections. If you connect a device to a display that does not support HDCP, the protected content may refuse to play entirely. In the IT world, DRM plays an important role in helping organizations and content creators protect copyrighted material, enforce licensing agreements, and reduce unauthorized distribution. While DRM can sometimes feel inconvenient to users, it exists to ensure software and digital content are used according to their licensing terms. At the end of the day, software licensing is all about defining how software can legally and ethically be used. Whether it is open source software encouraging collaboration, corporate licensing supporting large organizations, perpetual licenses offering long-term ownership, or DRM protecting copyrighted content, these agreements help balance innovation, protection, and compliance across the digital world. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more great content.